So my friend and I were walking down Soho in New York City. As we passed a few of the shops, we heard a man speaking on the phone to what was presumably his girlfriend, saying, "I always wear Brooks Brothers shirts. My parents have worn Brooks Brothers shirts. That's what we wear in our family." And I thought to myself, and I talked with my friend, about how you can usually tell a man's class by what he cares about. The young adult man who is from a lower class, works at T-Mobile maybe, in rural Kansas, he cares about relationships early in his adult life. The middle class man, he cares about achievements in his early adult life. And the upper class, they care about traditions. And while there's some generalizations there, I feel like it's largely true. The lower classes do put a larger emphasis on forming and nurturing marriages and family relationships, less likely to move farther away from each other and their generations around the country, whereas the middle class, or the kind of, upper middle class, well-to-do, they value achievements in their family. They're the ones that emphasize grades and getting into the right college, the right job, whereas the upper class seem to be more concerned with their traditions and carrying on as the generations before them did, and less concerned about various colleges or achievements. At least in terms of, colleges as an achievement. Which gets me thinking about what college is. And I've had this idea for a while now that college is really a social safety net for the average. Now, hear me out on this. When I say a social safety net, I mean how college functions in society. Much like Medicare or Social Security, these are all tools in our society to offer a safety net to a various demographic of people. To the elderly, to the poor, to the retired. They guarantee a way of living or a reasonable standard of living to those who otherwise might not have it. And we offer these programs, in the United States at least, because we believe in them as a kind of social ideal. And college functions in the same way. I don't mean on the individual level, like you and I, or you and your friend, but as a whole. If we were to look at college as a piece of software running on a system means society, how does it function? And it functions like a safety net, no different than Medicare or Social Security. And that if you buy into it, if you choose to pay a certain amount of money and attend a certain amount of years, we as a society make a deal with you. You choose to go to college and we'll guarantee you, or hopefully guarantee you, a reasonable standard of living. You won't be desperately poor or broke, but you'll do all right for yourself. You won't be great. You won't perhaps do great. We make no guarantees of greatness as a society if you go to college, but we somewhat guarantee that you'll do all right. You'll make a decent living. That's what it functions as. Functions as a social safety net for the average. Not the super geniuses, and perhaps not the, very dumb people. I don't know a better way, a more political way of saying that. We all know the person that, winds up working on the auto dealership that their dad owns or their uncle owns, or the guy they knew because they failed out of high school. So if you would imagine a bell curve, right, of society, the average being that bulbous shape, you're going to have a fat tail distribution on each side, and on this side, perhaps you'll have the super geniuses and the people that never need college. And they're your Steve Jobs, your Bill Gates, your Mark Zuckerberg. They will have succeeded with or without college. It's immaterial to them. And on the opposite side of the distribution curve, they will have lived life without college anyway, and they'll carve out whatever life they so choose to do, perhaps, with a very low standard of living or low income. But that's just it, as it is in any general distribution. But what about the masses, the general populace? That's where college, plays in. And college is a safety net. It's for these people on the curve, saying, if you go to college, you'll do all right in life. And for most people like you and I, we're average. Maybe not you, but I'll talk about myself. I went to college. I'll include myself as that average part of the curve. And it guarantees a simplistic deal, I make with attending a university or school, which is saying, I'll pay you some money, and I'll spend this time, and yeah, I may not be a super genius, be super wealthy and famous, but I'll have a reasonable chance of getting a job and maintaining a career, and it'll put me ahead and put me in a good position in society. And so that's what it does. It guarantees a reasonable standard of living for most people in that average bell curve. It's a safety net, no different than Social Security or Medicare at the end of the day. Even if we say it's different, it's functioning no differently than that. Just some thoughts for you guys. It's been on my mind lately. Let me know what you guys think. As always, thanks for watching. You can click, around for another video. Like, subscribe. See you guys tomorrow. Bye.